Let's now shift our focus to the migrant crisis at the Poland-Belarus border, which has now transformed into a massive political row involving the European Union, Belarus, Russia, and now even Ukraine. Let's break it down for you. The crisis only seems to be escalating. The Belarusian leader, Alexander Lukashenko, has threatened to cut off gas to Europe in retaliation for any new sanctions that the EU might impose over the migrant crisis. While the Belarusian opposition leader said that Lukashenko would not follow through on this threat, the message remains clear. Belarus is not going down without a fight.
Мы обогреваем Европу, они нам угрожают еще, что они закроют границу. А если мы перекроем природный газ туда?
Lukashenko also has the backing of a long-time ally Russia. President Putin spoke to the German Chancellor for the second time in 2 days and urged the EU to start talking to Belarus if it wants to resolve the situation. Russia also traded barbs with Western members of the UN Security Council, which had gathered to discuss the crisis.
The way out, of course, goes through the dialogue. It's not the first time that the European Union faces this time of a crisis. One can really remember about the reasons why these people are really fleeing their countries, who was behind them, which countries destroyed their countries. We all felt this several years ago in Mediterranean, in some countries of Mediterranean, and the attitude of European Union was totally different than it is right now. That's why it's clear double standards.
And in the latest, Belarus's state-run airlines has banned Syrians, Iraqis and Yemenis from incoming flights from Turkey. In a statement, the airline said that the decision was taken on Ankara's request. On the other hand, Western countries like France, the US and Britain condemned Belarus and called the situation an orchestrated instrumentalization of human beings for political purposes.
We, the current European Union members of the Security Council, Estonia, France and Ireland, joined today by the Security Council members Norway, the United Kingdom and the United States, and the incoming Security Council member Albania, condemn the orchestrated instrumentalization of human beings whose lives and well-being have been put in danger for political purposes by Belarus, with the objective of destabilizing neighboring countries and the European Union's external border and diverting attention away from its own increasing human rights violation.
And as migrants continue to queue up at the Polish border, Ukraine has said it will deploy thousands of border guards and security personnel to man the border. The country shares borders with both Belarus and Poland. Meanwhile, Poland released footage of the guards at the Belarus-Poland border. They can be heard shouting, "Go to Belarus, this place is full." As countries fight, thousands of men, women and children remain trapped between the forces of the two countries. Enduring freezing temperatures in makeshift camps, Poland has reported at least 7 migrant deaths in the crisis. Our correspondent Julia Chapman has sent us this report on the developments from Moscow. Take a look.
Kremlin has said that it has a right to station its troops anywhere it sees fit. All of this stems from concerns that there is a fresh military buildup in Russia near the Ukrainian border. Of course, earlier this year, there was a very substantial buildup near Ukraine. Around 100,000 troops from Russia and much equipment as well was stationed near that border around the time that a number of military exercises were being held. And at the time in Kiev, there were some serious alarm bells being raised. Now, Russia did say that it had withdrawn some of those troops, although just last week Ukraine said there are still some 90,000 in the area. But indeed, it seems to be the US that is expressing more concern this time around. And some of the insight and analysis from defense intelligence firm Jane's suggests that this is a more covert operation going on this time, that troops are being moved at night and with elite units being used, whereas earlier in the year it was pretty obvious that the Russians were moving troops around, making it more of a statement that it wanted to be publicly seen to be defending that border. What's going on right now is much less clear, but certainly the US has vowed to stand behind its ally Ukraine in the face of any Russian aggression.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.